Hello?
Hey, it's Ethan.
Oh, hey. You alright? You just disappeared the other night.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's Mia. She's not dead, she's alive. She's back.
They found her? How? What happened?
I don't know. Look, I don't know how, but she's back. She's back somehow. Maybe it's a prank, but she wants me to come and get her.
Where is she?
Dulvey, Louisiana.
Dude, it's been 3 years.
I know, but what if it is her? I have to find out what.
Alright, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Big Tune, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. And in today's video, we have finally finished. It didn't even take that long, really, so I don't really need to say finally. But we have finally reached the end of Resident Evil 7, and that includes all of its extra content, like Not a Hero, and End of Zoe. So, just like all my other reviews, we are going to take a look at the gameplay, and then the last section, we're going to take a look at the story and my overall thoughts on it. But first, I forgot that I do this. You can play this game on any of the next-gen consoles. I just gotta stop saying next-gen. You could play this on the current-gen consoles, PS5 and PS4 via backwards compatibility. And you can play this on PC. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, this one never came out for the Switch. But yeah, like I've been saying before, Resident Evil 6 successfully just damaged the franchise a lot, and to the point where there were no mainline releases. There were just spin-off titles like Operation Raccoon City, and then there was another one. Wait, was Operation Raccoon City released before 6? Hold on, let me make sure. So, no, it came out only a couple months, I think, before. Yeah, only a couple months before. But spin-off games like Umbrella Corps, and then the RE verse that came out with Resident Evil 3 Remake, there just weren't really a lot of mainline titles to be released, but that was until Resident Evil 7 was released in 2017, a whole 5 years after Resident Evil 6 came out. And just like Resident Evil 4, it changed up the formula by switching the gameplay to a first-person perspective, which we will talk about more in the gameplay section. But it also brought back elements from the previous Resident Evil games that were missing in Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, mainly puzzles and the horror aspect, because this game is very scary. And we are going to talk about that in the gameplay section. So enough of this intro. Let's get right into this. Resident Evil 7 is a game that breathed new life into a dead franchise, but also returned it back to its roots. What I mean by that is by switching to a first-person perspective, it changed up the formula just like Resident Evil 4 did. But unlike Resident Evil 4, in which they leaned more toward their action horror type of gameplay, this one kept these more survival horror gameplay. And it just works perfectly. This game, at certain points, is actually kind of terrifying. The Baker house is one of the most terrifying backdrops to explore, and the mold by far is one of the scariest things to fight against. The first person perspective really helps add on to that feeling of you are in the shoes of Ethan Winters. The guns, they feel great. My only problem is, I don't know if it's me or if it's the game though, is it does feel sometimes that the aiming is a little wonky, or I think it's just me and I just suck with the aiming. And this game does bring back the crafting system that not a lot of games had crafting. So this is like one of the first, this is the first game to actually introduce the crafting system into Resident Evil 7, in which you can craft chem fluid. You can use, I think it's you can use chem fluid, and you can use an herb to craft medical medicine. And then unlike Resident Evil 6, where you would like pop tabs and then eat them, in this game they turned in the healing items into like some type of like liquid stuff that you can make. And honestly, it's really satisfying seeing him like pour it on himself, and like his hands and stuff stay like are glistening and everything. The one thing I do have to say about this game, about the gameplay, is that the movement speed is very slow, and they fixed it in Resident Evil 8, but in this game you just really have to get used to how slow you move. Even his running animations when you're in like an indoor area is just really just like, he runs really slow. I think some mold did actually caught up to me a couple times when I was trying to run away from them. And then, like I said before, the puzzles returned. They're not as, actually there is some puzzles that are as off the wall as Resident Evil 1. There is a point where you must pick up a shotgun, and there's a broken shotgun that you can pick up, but then later in the game you pick up a toy shotgun. Now, I've played this game through maybe 3 times, and I've never known what to do with that shotgun, but now I know that you take the toy shotgun and you go replace it with the broken shotgun, and you use a repair kit on the broken shotgun to get an upgraded shotgun. And I never knew that. After all these years, I thought the broken shotgun was just there to just be there. You can repair, if you find the broken handgun, which is actually the handgun you use in the beginning of the game versus your first fight with Mia, and you can find that and use the repair kit on that. And honestly, it's just, the game is fun. I really enjoyed playing this game. With headphones on, all the lights off and stuff, this game truly actually scared me. There's a point in this game when you fight Marguerite, where even though I've played that part and I know when the jump scares are coming, it still gets me to this day, because it's just, this game is creepy. The mold, like I said before, has to be one of the most creepiest viruses that we had. And to top it all off, Resident Evil 7 has to be one of the best looking horror games and Resident Evil games by far. One of the best looking games actually to be made. I think it more has to do with the way the graphics in this game work is it's trying to emulate like horror movies, like a way, like the only way I can say it is like a cabin in the woods type of like filter over it, or like a movies where they're in cabins and stuff. I feel like that's like the type of like art direction they were going towards, is like dark and gritty movies like that. I really can't like the Evil Dead and stuff, because to me, anytime I play this game and like there's like because there is minimal HUD, the only HUD that you have is the watch to show you what you have a watch on your left hand to show you your health, what the hell is it called, your health status, and then you have the ammo counter in the bottom right. Other than that, the only other menu is the crafting menu, and other than that, there's nothing on the screen, and it really helps to put you in the shoes. It's terrifying. It's actually scary to like, there's nothing else on the screen distracting you from the monsters that are in front of you. And like I said before, the molded, the ones that you fight, man, they are actually some of the most terrifying monsters to date in this game, just because of the way they look. I'm just telling you, the mold is one of the most terrifying viruses in this game, in any type of infection, any type of thing to date. The way it just moves, and the way the monsters just sound, and then the way that it's just all controlled by just like one. The gunplay in Resident Evil 7 also is some of the most satisfying that has ever been. I know I said something about the aiming being a little wonky, and I do feel like it kind of is, but when you do get those headshots, it really does feel like you earned it. And not only that, there is a new system known as the guard system, which helps because you really don't have like the ability to run away from monsters and like juke monsters out like from the third person games and all that. They gave you a new guard system, which is you click the left bumper or L1 depending on what you are playing. Your character will bring up their hands, and then they will be able to guard the attack and take less damage. Also in the extra content, which is not a hero, you play as Chris Redfield, and what he can do actually is he's Chris fucking Redfield. He can actually punch the molded after they get stunned, as I showed in the intro before, the intro to the gameplay section. But also when you're playing as, I think his name's Joe Baker, or when you're playing as Jack Baker's brother in the End of Zoe DLC, there is only melee combat, and then you get spears. It kind of looks like Far Cry Primal. But I really don't even, it doesn't even feel weird to be punching the molded after Resident Evil 6 and stuff. I've just jumped the entire shark and just did a bunch of stuff. And then Jack's brother, I keep blanking on his name, but it does really characterizes him as he's just beating the shit out these dudes, and it's just honestly really fun to play. But yeah, now let's get on to that story.
Where am I? What the hell?
Rise and shine, sleepyhead. It's time for supper.
Who are all you people? Where's Mia?
Eat it. It's good.
Dumb son bitch wasn't no good if it hit him.
Yes.
Get out the way, Marguerite. His boy's got to eat. He got to have his supper. Come here, boy. Let's do this.
Shit, he's not eating it, Jack! He's not eating it!
Get the hell up, Marguerite!
I made that for him!
Get the hell out of here!
You're a son of a bitch! Oh, I can't believe it, you son of a bitch! He's not eating it! He's not eating it!
This was supposed to be a very special feast. Come on, boy. God damn it! I'll bet it's that cop again. Goddamn pigs! I'm coming back for you.
After Resident Evil 6 had that crazy, insane, incoherent story, Resident Evil 7 decided to have a more grounded story that really, if we're being honest, has no connection to any of the past Resident Evil games until the very ending, as the game begins with Ethan Winters going after his missing wife after receiving a video that specifically tells him not to go after his wife. After then, he's then kidnapped by the family that includes Jack Baker, Lucas Baker, and Marguerite Baker, and is then put into an entire night of just pure, hell. And then as you get on to later in the game, you learn that Lucas is he is infected, but he has complete control over himself, because the people who actually made the mold that are actually contacted him after a big ship that Mia was traveling on with the little girl Evelyn, which is a bioweapon. And then after Evelyn went crazy and crashed the ship, it turned Mia and Evelyn washed up near the Baker residence, which then in turn caused them all to be infected with the mold. The Connections is a new group, kind of like Umbrella. I don't know if they've been mentioned before in any past games, but my thinking about it is that the Connections may have something to do with who Ada Wong was working for in all these past games. Maybe, I really don't know. And then not only that, like I said, the only connection that happens to any Resident Evil game, it comes towards the end, which is in the form of Blue Umbrella, which is the remnants of Umbrella reformed into a kind of like peacekeeping group to atone for their sins. And then Chris he's working for them. I don't think he's working for them, but I think he's being supplied by them. Like, his gear in this game is supplied by them, so he has to like fly under their like helicopters and things. Because I remember seeing the blue umbrella symbol on the helicopter that he came from when this game first came out, and being as hell confused, thinking Chris was a bad guy. But yeah, the story, honestly, it's a really good story. You go from beginning to end. Evelyn is a good antagonist. The Bakers are terrifying, especially Margaret Baker with her like bug transformation. Lucas Baker is an annoying piece of shit, but he's a good antagonist. And Jack Baker, even though he's not around for that long in the game, he is by far the like most like terrifying one in the family, because he just chases you around no matter what. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about the story. It's a good Resident Evil story. It really, I'm glad they really ignored a little bit of Resident Evil 6 and just started telling their own thing. And I'm glad that they actually had Chris in the game to connect it to the old Resident Evil 6 game, to the old Resident Evil games, and it really does show this bigger universe than just like, you know what I mean, just like is keeping it in its own self-contained stuff. Because Chris does become involved in Ethan's story a lot, because he's heavily involved in the next game, Resident Evil 8 Village, which is next on our playthrough, and the last game actually that we have to play to end this series. So like I said, that's all I have to say about the story. It's very enjoyable from beginning to end. There is that middle section that some games have that's really a drag to go through, which is the boat section, but after that, the rest of that's only a little bit of the that's just like the last half of the game. It sucks, but it's just not a good section of the game. But overall, I do recommend this game. Resident Evil 7, like I said, was a return to form, but it did breathe new life into this franchise. It's very fun. It is a very good looking game, and it's a very scary. If you don't, even though I know what is coming throughout all of this entire game, I still get scared whenever I play it. And then the extra content, like, whew, man. The extra content, none of it was on disc, which is sad, because, you know, Resident Evil games are known for like their extra content. But I think the reason why that none of it was on there, because I think that the development cycle for this game was really hard or something like that. And then all the extra content, the only things that were really story were the the Not a Hero was actually free DLC, and End of Zoe cost money, and then there were two like DLC packs that had like mini games and stuff in it, and there was one story in there that was actually it's called like Sisters, and it's like takes place when Mia and Evelyn actually do wash up for the first time on there, but you have to spend $15 on that, and I was just like, I already had to buy End of Zoe. It's just I wasn't going to play anything else in it. But yeah, so I do recommend that you go play this game. You can find the gold edition, which has everything in it, really cheap online and everything. This game has a lot of replay value, because once you beat it, you do unlock Madhouse. I think you unlock hardcore difficulty, and then you unlock Madhouse difficulty after you beat hardcore, or it goes, you unlock both of those difficulties. And then, like I said, the extra, if you want to throw down a couple extra bucks, or if you want to find that gold edition, the extra content that comes in with this game, there's a lot of fun things. There's like there's a 21 game where you have to get whoever gets to 21, like the other person dies if they don't get to it. There's one that has to do with like Marguerite in her room, and like you have to like escape before she comes back, and you have to like put everything back the way it has to go, or when she comes back she'll know, and then she'll kill you, and it's just fun little things like that. But yeah, like I said, I recommend this game. If you haven't played it, if you have played it, go back and play it again. It's fun. The replay value is there. But that is enough of this Resident Evil 7 playthrough, because we completed it, and honestly, I can't believe that we did that. We have one more game in the series. Like I said, I'm just excited to get to Resident Evil 8. We have one more game to play, and then we can move on from the Resident Evil franchise. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Hit that bell notification so you guys don't miss any of these videos, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.